How's it going to be different for you guys?
Hopefully a whole lot different.
Yeah.
Be good to be on the winning side of things. Mentality obviously needs to change. We've had good talks about where we are and where we're trying to go. So yeah, just an honest evaluation, and then I think there needs to be a response tomorrow.
Those talks, are they like structured talks? Are they
Are there what? Sorry?
The talks that you mentioned about
Yeah.
are they structured like full team talks? Is it between you guys?
Little bit of everything. We've obviously had individual talks. We've had talks with the manager as well. Yeah, and it's just a reflection. Talking about what it means to be able to represent your country, what it means to be able to represent the national team, making sure that every time that we step into camp, we're representing the crest, our teammates, our families, the country, giving someone something to root for. So yeah, I think that has been a big reflection, and obviously this will be our first training today as a group since the game. So yeah, we'll see the energy, but it needs to be better.
Tyler heard from Jesse earlier, who believes it's the first time he's going to coach against you in
Yep.
his career.
Yeah.
What's it going to be like looking across the sideline and trying to beat his team for once?
Yeah, that's going to be strange. I'll have to be honest with you. Yeah, it's a manager that's meant a lot to me in my career, and a person that's meant a lot to me in my career. So he obviously gave me my first opportunity to sign my first professional contract, and when someone like that sits across from your family and gives you an evaluation of where I'm at and where I'm trying to go, he's obviously made a lot of that come to fruition. So thankful for that.
Tim, how big of a test is it for all of you guys to find that motivation in the third place game? I mean, we know that they sell these tickets in doubleheaders, so probably won't be the most full environment. Both teams probably would rather be playing in a final. Like, how do you make sure that you have the ability to get up for this and to put on a good performance?
No, I think we're all professionals, and we know, every game is important. This game is just as important as any other game, so we're gonna come out with that fighting spirit that we always have. Obviously, we lacked it against Panama, but now is our opportunity to kind of make up for it and kind of go in a positive direction. Obviously, things happen, and it's about how you bounce back. And I think we have a wonderful group, wonderful new coaching staff. So the bigger picture is what we're looking at.
Tyler, Canada's known for their fight. How do you match that, and what sort of challenges there present?
You have to match that. Anyone in CONCACAF. It's not just Canada. Perfect example is Panama. So again, it's not matching that. We need to raise the bar. We need to be the team that sets the tone for every single game that we play in. We can't be waiting for someone to throw the first punch and us be able to react, because sometimes you get knocked out in the first punch. So again, it's one of those things that there doesn't need to be motivation for the game, whether it's third, fourth, whatever place game it is. It's like we're representing our country, and that needs to be the wake-up call to everyone.
Guys, when people look ahead to the World Cup, they get excited about the big game against the top team in the knockout round, but you guys are going to be a seeded team. It's a bigger tournament. You're probably going to have games like the one the other night where teams are bunkering and challenging you to break them down. You got about a year left to prepare for games like that. Could you reflect on maybe what's not going well in games like that during this cycle, and what you can do to spark more creativity against teams like that?
I think in general, when you're playing teams that will be labeled, not up to, I don't know how to say it, less stronger than yours, obviously you tend to lack a bit of something, a bit of fight, because you think it's an easier game. But I think this group, we know what's at stake, and we know that each game is an important game, whether you're playing Panama or whether you're playing France. So I think the mentality, we just have to come out with a superior mentality, knowing that, we're able to beat any team that's in front of us, and that's what we're building towards. I think Poch we had a beautiful meeting the other day, and he was just explaining to us that we have to have that killer mentality, and we have to want it. We have to want to be here 100%. We have to fight. We have to work together, and for me, the end of the road is always beautiful. So we just have to work up to that. And yeah, we'll be fine.
Sorry. How did the field play? Because there was some reports about how it was an experimental surface with kind of part grass, part artificial surface. I mean, how did the field play for you guys? Did you notice anything?
It was interesting. It was a bit different to what we're used to, playing in. When we play at stadiums like Cincinnati, the smaller stadiums, obviously the grass is different. This grass was different. I think it's something that we need to get used to if we're going to be playing on it in the World Cup, and we just have to continue getting games on it. But it was pretty decent.
What was different about it?
For me, it was a heavier pitch. So heavier pitch means after games. You know, you get that stress on the body, but you know, it's something that we're all just gonna have to get used to, and playing on it more is definitely gonna do that.
Was the ball playing slow a little bit? Did you feel like?
Personally, I just felt like the field was a bit thick, which I have no problem with. I just have to get used to it, like I said, and yeah, we'll be fine.
Tyler, dating back to the elimination at Copa America, now this loss really put the focus on the players, and there's a lot of criticism coming from the press, the fans, with like how capable this team is truly at finding success in a year at the next World Cup. Are you guys aware of that criticism? Is it fair? How do you internalize that?
Criticize us too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if we want to be praised, we have to give people something to praise us about. So again, it's about rising to the occasion in certain games, and yeah, since the World Cup, it's been obviously a little bit of a roller coaster in terms of competitive games, non-competitive games, on and off, but a game is a game. You have to show up just like anything else, and we all do it with our club, so when we come together as a unit, we need to be able to find ways to win.
You talked about having the killer mentality. Why do you think it was lacking the other day, and what are you doing to make sure it's there tomorrow?
Damn, I'd be the coach if I had the answer to that. You know what I mean? Again, it's about reflection. It's about being able to look in the mirror, understanding everybody's strengths and weaknesses, how that all balances out. But yeah, I think it's one of those things as well that, you know, you come out and you win a game 4-0 and things are on your terms and you dominate. It gives the team confidence in the way that you want to play. When you make things tight and obviously keep teams in the game, it becomes more difficult. It's not just the Panama games, it's any team that you play. So yeah.
Mauricio spoke about wanting to see you guys take more risks. He said today it seemed like you guys were playing without goals in the way you were just passing it around, not necessarily finding those moments where you might make a mistake but could also make something happen. Is that, obviously you guys can do that with your clubs and we've seen it, but is that just adjusting to the new coach? Is that, you know, adjusting to the point where we're in the cycle, trying to impress someone who has a new opinion of you? How do you guys kind of assess the need to take more risks, and what kind of risks you think you should be taking?
I think having games like Panama really shows that, you know, we do need to change some things. And I think, you know, I saw the game in such a different way. Obviously, I want to win, I want to fight. I think everyone wants to do that, but it's also another learning experience for us to grow. And I think with the new coach, it's wonderful that we get to work on things that he wants, because he's a top level coach, and I think every player here is excited to be here and with him. And I think we're just gonna grow under him. I think in the next year or so before the World Cup, you're gonna see a total different squad. I think he's gonna get the best out of the players, and you know, having moments like Panama is the only way you get to kind of fine tune and fix certain things. So I think, you know, as it is a negative, it's also a positive for us to grow and kind of find
What are you
some
guys
space.
expecting from Canada? I mean, it's a team that chip on their shoulder. Their players have been pretty public about what it means to play the United States, everything surrounding the game. How do you match that intensity from the opposing team?
I already know it's gonna be a fight. I already know a couple of the players. A lot of the players that I hold dear in my heart, like Jonathan David, Alfonso Davis. So I know that they have that fight. Obviously, off the field, we all get along, but on the field, it's gonna be war. And I think that's what makes the game beautiful, is when you have games like this. And you know, if we can build a super rivalry with Canada, I think it'll be amazing. It just adds a little spice to what we're trying to cook up here. So I think as a group, we're ready for the challenge. I think Canada's gonna come out ready as well, and we just have to top them on the day.